Yes, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the officer. And today, uh, yes, we are going to discuss the upcoming mains and the importance of sociology answer writing. Everybody knows very well that optional plays a very critical role. Yes, and within that, the most important thing is what? Though the optional plays very critical role, but securing a good marks more than 250 at least and achieving that golden figure more than 300 not becomes the cup of tea for everybody. And that's why, see, securing good marks in itself need or require a particular strategy, particular consistent efforts, and a particular roadmap. So today we are going to discuss in this session that how to secure, how to ace that particular golden figure, how to secure, how to get more than 300 marks in this particular sociology optional. And from the last 3, 4, 5 years, okay, we can say that the marks not only in the political science or in the anthropology, but in every social science or in every optional, okay, the graph is a declining mode. Means very few candidates are there who are becoming able to secure more than 300 marks. But yes, there are students who are securing. So we want to also become one of them. We don't want to get that average number of marks. And for that matter, need a consistent strategy. Okay, let's start. Folks, in this session, let me first tell you the agenda of this session. Yes, we are going to first of all burst some myths, okay, about the optional answer writing. Then the second will be there, and that is what things we need to cover, what things we need to remember while writing a good answer. So what does mean by the writing a good answer? Okay, yes, very carefully I have chosen the word good, not the best. Third, what things means, what don't and what do's we have to follow in this upcoming mains while writing answer. The most important thing, the 2026 mains will be commenced from the 21st August. Okay. So from today, or just take the an average number, then today is the 7th of June. Okay. We have a 3 weeks of the June, 21 days, 30 days of the July, and 20 days again of the August. So we have around 70 days. In this 70 days, definitely we have to divide this into the 60 plus 10 formula. What does it mean by the 60? 60 means where you have to now study. Actually, you have completed your study. Now, instead, okay, means if you have not completed your study before the prelim, then it will become very difficult to secure and to just think about those 300 marks. That will become just a Mungeri Lal ki Hasin Sapne. Okay, and that's why I'm assuming that your study has been completed. Now you are just revising here. You are revising here all whatever the material you have. Second, you are practicing more and more. Okay, so you are practicing, getting feedback, and then you are improving upon it. So you have to do only these 3 or 4 things. With this, just leave apart those value additions. Keep it. Yes, value addition is a very necessary thing, but keep it as a burden or as a part to the coaching classes, just like for us. Okay, keep it aside for us. We will provide you the value addition. We will provide you that particular things, the examples, the extra materials, or particularly the diagrams and all. Okay, so you just focus upon whatever you have completed until now. Now you don't have that kind of a luxury to spend even few minutes over the value addition. Nothing. You have to just focus upon this thing. We will do this part for you. Then in the last 10 days, keep this space empty. Empty. Empty means what? If suppose if you just uh, uh, something remain untouched during this time, you can complete it here. Then second, you can also touch whatever the points, whatever the things you feel most important for the upcoming mains, then you can again just re-revise it. Okay. So the 60 plus 10 formula you can just apply and you can get good number of marks. Okay, handsome number of marks. Now the next thing is what? If we have to cover the two papers, okay, paper 1 and paper 2 within the 60 days, then definitely what we can do here, paper first, we can allot a little bit more time, around 35 to 40 days, okay, 35 to 40 days. Why? Because we can complete here the topics of paper first as well as those topics which are overlapping. So overlapping topics also we can cover here within a paper first. So during this time, and you know very well that the traditional theoretical knowledge and theoretical foundation you can build upon only on the basis of this paper first. And then remaining 40 or 20 days, we can allot for the paper second. But suppose somebody has a very good command over the paper first, then there is no problem. You can just devote around 20 days. Because most of the students, okay, they face very challenging situation in the paper second. Lots of time means suppose somebody is there who is giving his mains or her mains third time, fourth time this year. Yes, if suppose that student is facing some challenges in the paper second, you can flip this strategy. Okay, but you need a proper strategy, you need a proper plan, and then the part will remain just a execution. Okay, now come to the next level, next stage. In the paper first, first of all, cover research methodology. Okay, research methodology. If you have not touched it, cover it, because this is the most low hanging fruit. It will cover you, or it will cover more than 50 to 60 number of marks. Okay, this will be the main aspect. Okay, so first of all cover research methodology, then go through the thinkers, and this will give you the foundation first, this will give you the perspective, and most importantly you can directly, okay, means the thinkers is the part only with which we can bring a sociological dimension, sociological imagination to your answer. And that's why having a good understanding of thinker is a non-negotiable aspect of your study. And then you can go ahead to the whatever the later, okay, or remaining part of the syllabus. Then at the same time, if overlapping topics are there, then for example politics, second the religion, third kinship, family, marriage, and to the some extent social change. So what I would suggest you that if you are preparing these points now, then please cover paper first as well as paper second. That will save your time, save your money, save your time, efforts and everything. So for that matter, you can cover here. Now what does mean by covering from the paper second? Paper second, it demands the analysis from Indian society. Analysis of Indian society. If you are preparing suppose elite, power elite theory, then yes, just try to understand how the power elite functions or works in Indian society. Okay, first. Second, to bring sociology in your analysis, just quote thinkers and sociologists from the Indian society. For example, in northern India, Surinder Jodhka is doing a very fantastic work. Dipankar Gupta is also doing very good work. So you can quote these thinkers, you can just collect the basic case studies from these thinkers and you can just mention here. Second, examples, a particular examples from Indian society. Even though the question is just demanding theoretical aspects from the paper first now, then also try to mention some examples from the paper second, from the Indian society. Okay, so attach it. Third one, what we can do here, that is the syllabus, syllabus of paper second and the unique features of Indian society. So suppose you are preparing for the power elite theory of paper first, then connect it with the caste system, Indian society, connect it with the caste system, connect it with the Indian ethnic minorities or ethnic communities. So in the caste system, can you become able to find out any power elite from the caste system? Does the currently chief ministers, they belongs to the power elite, or that power elite, okay, those power elite have lost the charisma and authority or the power and hold over the system? Yes, this understanding will give to your answer a real advantage, a practicalness, okay, and that's why the unique features from the Indian society, add them. That will just a pinch of these examples from the Indian society will add a flavor to your answer. The second example, if you are writing again the power elite, suppose take the example of power elite, then add some ethnic minorities from Indian community. For example, the Kuki or the Naga or the Bodo. Yes. So at the same time, these ethnic minorities, yes, definitely that will help you. That will give your answer age. Okay. If you are putting those examples into it, ethnic minority, tribal communities. Why Soren are ruling over the Jharkhand? Then to which community they are belonging? Do you know about it? Okay. So that particular thing we need to address. And if you are putting those examples now, that is your differentiation in your answer. So that's why just add this flavor, add these points in your paper first also. Forget about the particular nature of the question. Means what? If the question is typically demanding the theoretical answer, then also add some examples from the paper first. Okay. So this is the basic thing you need to completely remember here, and then you have to just start your preparation and execute your plan. Then now next, see, while writing answer, the first and foremost thing is what? The focus, the goal should be empathetic and not just a mechanical writing. Empathetic and not just the mechanical answer writing. Means what? For example, I will give you the complete understanding what does mean by the mechanical answer writing. Look at here. Mechanical answer comes from the rote learning and from the rigid structuring. For example, everybody tells you that your answer must be a what we can say there, the intro, main body, conclusion. Yes, that is the structure. You need to follow it because again that is a universal phenomena, universal need. But while writing those aspects, just putting what you know, okay, without giving a particular understanding, without showing that you love this subject, without showing that you care about this particular subject and particular society, will not fetch you good marks. So just whatever you have ratta, okay, whatever you have done the ratta means what? Whatever you have memorized the thing and you are just writing here, they are not going to work upon here. One thing. Second, just writing exactly what you know rather than what is the demand, again is not going to work here. Third, dropping thinkers randomly. Just said, sir, bhaiya ne kaha tha, say, just add more number of thinkers. That's why I just showered, okay, showered number of thinkers upon my answer sheet. So that is not going to work. That is not going to help you. And that's why the mechanical answer is not now going to give you the fetch you the marks. Now what is the needed? Needed is a empathetic perspective. But first, internalize the concept, to show the examiner, to show that professor that you love the syllabus, you love and you care about that topic. Okay, for example, if you are writing any particular question, that is sociology a science, then just don't go with the mechanical answer. No, you have to show that you care about the sociology, because the professor has spent more than 30 to 35 years in this field. So he is demanding or she is demanding that particular attachment from you. How to show it? But by putting your own words, by putting your own thoughts into your answer, and that is the demand. First, okay, so concepts, internalize the concept and reproduce them in your own way, in your own understanding. First. Second, blending current affairs with a specific sociological framework. Is sociology a science? Then definitely try to connect it with this current affairs. Yes, you can. Is sociology a science? For example, that a few days, Anthropic AI that prepared, that actually developed one agent for the social sciences, and that agent is now helping all these sociological and even other social sciences researched, okay, to just go much more deeper and to create, okay, that pan-American, pan-Indian, pan-global level of kind of a study, a kind of a research. So here what it is meant by that, if we are using the natural sciences, physics, chemistry and biology, yes, they are using every kind of a new tool, so does sociology also. And it is not necessary to put this context in a very first paragraph. No, you can conclude it with the this answer with the Anthropic's agent, that how the new AI technology we are using in the social science like a sociology to make it more scientific. Are you getting my point? That is the thing. That is the main differentiation. That shows, yes, the student is not preparing only for the marks, but it is really has a care or has a empathetic aspect toward the marks. X. Okay. Next, judiciously connecting thinkers to real event happening. If there is a need, then connect it. If in your flow, if thinkers is fitting very aptly, then yes, use it. That is the necessary. And that's why the quality answer is the empathetic answer. It shows that you care and you love your subject. Next, okay. So at the same time, next, the crucial divide, the gender studies and sociology. This aspect I am going to cover first of all, because many times what happens in the sociology, you need or you feel that students end up choosing this optional because they feel this subject is a very simple one and this subject is a very well known to them, okay. But ultimately when they wrote answers, they wrote like a novice amateur student, and they tend to be become a generalist than the technicalist, than the specialist. And that thing we have to first of all here, and this particularly this is more applicable to the first paper when you write some answers for the current affairs, and some in the paper first and second paper is completely applicable, because in the paper first, okay, generally we get more number of questions regarding the gender studies. For example, when it sometime it has asked you the just a Swachh Bharat mission, then sometime it has asked the interlinking river interlinking project, okay. Sometime it has asked sustainable development, which you prepare in the paper 3 of your GS, okay. So it becomes very challenging for the student. So in this time, what we have to do here, suppose the question is about to discuss the persistence of poverty. I will give you the one example which is very simple. So in GS what we do, we focuses more upon the economic angle and employment data, the government policies and economic causes. But in sociology, we have to provide some our basic understanding, unique perspective, that is the Marxist perspective, Amartya Sen's perspective, feminist perspective, that will make your answer sociological. One thing. Second thing, if you take example of take any example, okay. For example, suppose there is an example like Manrega, or even take the Swachh Bharat. Okay, Swachh Bharat. If this question you have to write here. Generally, in general studies, what we do, when this government has started this initiative, what were the objectives, what it has achieved, where it has been failed, then what we can do again, some like this, we can generally focus more upon it. In the sociology, what you have to do, just remember this mantra. First, remember your syllabus, where I can connect this point. Syllabus, Swachh Bharat. In the paper first, in the paper second. In the paper second, what you can do? In the paper second, connect it with the, just scan your syllabus. First, Ghurye, Srinivas and Desai. Can I connect with them? Can I relate with them? No. Okay, no problem. Then, yes, actually we can connect it, but superficially, if you are not getting it, forget it. Next, village studies. Yes, Swachh Bharat is more of a problem of not only the villages but also the urban area. But both of the societies has a peculiar problems. Both have the peculiar problems. Just for example, Andre Bete, in his theory or in his case study of Shripuram, has elaborately mentioned that how the infrastructure, infrastructure in the villages remain uneven, or availability of infrastructure remain uneven for the upper caste people and the lower caste and lower class people. So you can connect here Andre Bete with the Swachh Bharat mission. That Swachh Bharat mission is trying to provide that accessibility with the infrastructure to everybody by going beyond that across the caste and across the class. First thing. So I connected it. Next, yes, Louis Dumont is there and his theory of pollution and purity and pollution. Yes, again, that purity and pollution factor will get divided. Okay, always has divided the Indian community. But here, Swachh Bharat mission will lessen down, will reduce that gap between the purity and pollution, because of Swachh Bharat mission is going to provide all those facilities, all those infrastructural aspects to everyone. And then everyone get, even the women, might be you have gone through the particular aspect of the gender, that Swachh Bharat mission has addressed that gender perspective, gender aspect. Particularly the dignity of women, particularly the lower class and lower caste women. Even, so you can connect it with here. So in this manner, Swachh Bharat mission, and see what you need here, you need to have a good understanding of this mission, not the sociology, because sociology is already with you. Just you have to connect it with the various aspects, and you can easily write a good number of good quality of answer. So connect it with the tribal, connect it with the constitution and social chain, connect it with the minority, connect it with the family, connect it with the agriculture, that is the rural and cooperative movement, then the poverty alleviation, then the migration, then the urbanization, then the informal sector, then the particular population problem, social movements. So easily you can build up here around 10 to 12 points very easily, which are very kind of a sociological in nature. So this is the basic mantra. Connect it with the syllabus. Then try to understand that, try to apply here. First, second, sociological imagination. What sociological imagination says us? What sociological imagination says us? That the personal trouble and social issues. Correct? What the C.W. Mill says? C.W. Mill says that, see, nothing is a personal, everything is a social. There is a linkage between the personal trouble and with the social structure. Connect this particular Swachh Bharat mission with that. If one particular community, one particular family is not using that infrastructure of Swachh Bharat, whatever the sanitary aspects, then why they are not using? Maybe you can find out their roots into the social structure by taking the example of that particular Pierre Bourdieu, the cultural capital does not allow people in the rural areas to defecate within their houses. Are you getting my point? So they connect it with the each and everything. That is the real value. Okay, sociological imagination. And third, our doyen, thinkers. Thinkers. Then connect it with the thinkers. Perspective, bring the perspective, Marxist perspective, symbolic interactionist perspective is a very important in the Swachh Bharat mission. Because again, defecating in open areas does not have any that particular baggage, does not carry any symbolic D-value. So people feel nothing about it to defecate openly. Are you getting my point? And that's why symbolic interactionism, bring all those perspectives here. Even the micro perspectives, bring here the phenomenological perspective, ethnometeorological perspective, add it here. But again, to bring it and to organize your answer in a very effective manner, you need a continuous practice. Until and unless you cannot just jot down all these points. And I always said that in the exam hall, you don't need to think. The mind must be on an autopilot mode. Are you getting my point? That is the demand. And last but not least, that use the data. Examples, case studies, that how this particular Swachh Bharat mission has started that movement in India. Give them example that how women in Wardha district have started their own dignity movement. How they have started their dignity movement, the women's movement. And that will give you that particular touch, a pinch of age. So in this way, we can cover all these points and all these things. So anatomy of a good introduction. I always tell my student that, see, starting your answer with the definition is, yes, it is a safe bet. Safe bet. You can start with it, but that is not the real hook. I generally tell my student that start your answer with the TC, that is the technical context. In this technical context, what is it? What does it mean by? One, name of the thinker. Second, the title, book, whatever he has or she has wrote. Exact definition. So for example, if you are writing about the social fact, if you are writing about the suicide, even if you are writing about the power elite, then mention there that Emile Durkheim has coined or developed independent subject matter for sociology, that is social fact, in his book The Methodology of Social Sciences. Whatever. Or historical materialism, Karl Marx in his book A Critique to the Political Economy and blah 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 blah, has coined or has developed the theory of historical materialism. For what? To analyze the past of European society on the basis of material condition. Are you getting my point? So that will give a hook and that will solve a major problem. What is that problem? That the examiner will understand that you are technically correct. You are technically correct. And that technicality correct, will give you a good understanding, a good start to your answer. And that will fetch you definitely 1 or 2 marks extra. Are you getting my point? So you need to focus upon these technical aspects. Always remember. Because see, without fact, analysis is nothing. It's just a dump of few thoughts. So for example, that's why you have to support your answer in GS, in sociology, always with the fact, those fact. There's a one historian and he said that fact reveal themselves. The famous quote is there, Ranke, fact reveal themselves. So he used to first focus more upon the fact, and all the positivist thinker in the sociology also focuses more upon the fact. Fact, put the fact, because facts are objective and that objectiveness brings a technicality to your answer to the sociology also. Are you getting my point? So that's why the first is a introduction. Here I gave you the example that Emile Durkheim in his book The Rules of Sociological Method define social fact as a ways of acting, thinking and feeling which are external to the individual and endowed with the power of coercion. If this is your first line, then definitely anybody is going to get impressed. Getting my point? So that's why. Second, the most important thing in your answer, that is the words, keywords. Prepare 15-word arsenal keywords for each and every theory, for each and every topic. Make the list and ensure to use all these keywords in your answer, because ultimately examiners scan your answer. She or he never read your answer. First, they scan your answer, they never read your answer. Second, they try to just find out, have you addressed the demand of the question? Third, they try to search, have you brought sociological perspective in your answer? And all these requirements you can fulfill with the help of these keywords. For example, Durkheim ka theory, division of labor. Here, what are the keywords? Mechanical solidarity, organic solidarity, anomy, moral density, okay, abnormal division, the moral density here particularly repeated, forced division of labor, material density, heterogeneity. See, prepare for the religion, prepare for the suicide theory, prepare for the historical moment, prepare for the class struggle, prepare for the all other aspects of the your syllabus. Okay, anatomy. So the most important thing is your keywords. You have to prepare that list and mention those into your answer. Here, another example we will take here. The intellectual forces. UPSC has asked multiple of time this question, that how did the intellectual forces lead to the emergence of sociology? The average approach is what? What are the forces? Listing 10 different forces, intellectual forces, and just jot it down in a uneven manner, no flow. Yes, that is not going to give you good marks. See, in sociology now, there is a one typical unique feature of sociology is what? If you have appeared for the mains, you are a serious candidate. And then in sociology, your answer never get wrong, means never get discarded by the examiner as an incorrect answer. No. Every time student writes something correct, something good about the question, about the answer, about the point and about the topic. So particularly in the sociology, no student ever have written a wrong answer, with a few except of the few candidate, but most of the time you write a answer which is a correct one. But that correct answer is not going to only give you the age, secure the marks. So for that matter, your answer never get here incorrect, okay, consider incorrect. You always have to prove your point, prove your metal, that I am the best, I am the person, I am the student who knows sociology better than any competitor. Here, the toppers approach. How did they lead to emergence? Your focus must be on the emergence. Okay. Then in execution point, identify that these forces cause instability and then explain the synthesis. I will explain you in another manner. Just in intro, again what I told you, give the technical context. Particularly T.G. Botmore in his book Sociology, okay, Origin of Sociology, in his book he has mentioned this particular various intellectual approaches, intellectual forces behind the emergence of sociology. So mention here Botmore, okay, in his book Sociology, has analyzed the emergence of sociology. Or even you can also quote another thinker from the Indian society, that is Francis Abraham. J. Francis Abraham has also analyzed this same phenomena, and he said that sociology is the child of the revolution, and these revolutions took place because of the intellectual forces as well as the material forces. See, you can quote anybody, the Botmore or J. Abraham Francis. What I will do, I will first of all, I will start my answer with the J. Abraham Francis and I will use Botmore into the main body. main body. Then I will use the here diagram. In this diagram, the emergence of sociology, okay, that is the revolutions, or just if I write down here particularly the age of revolution caused by the intellectual forces, and second by the material forces. So question is about the intellectual forces, and I gave to the examiner that I know very well. There are material factors also which have also caused the emergence of sociology. So I gave you the diagram. Then in the main body, okay, I will just here use Botmore, and whatever the points he has discussed, means the particular intellectual forces. For example, the historical philosophy, then biological process, Darwin and all that, then enlightenment, then socio-political reform movement, okay, like this. So I will discuss all these things, and then I will connect these particular intellectual forces with the counter-reactionary thinkers, and progressivist thinkers. I will write 2 lines about the Bonald and Maistre and Maine, and I will write down 2 lines about the Comte, Spencer and these thinkers. And I will conclude here this answer with the either I will use Irving Zicklin, okay, or I will use Robert Bested, or even simply I will use here the argument of Ritzer. And with this I will just conclude this answer. So I use thinkers, but I use them in a demand mode, means where it is necessary I just quoted them. So in this way, folks, we have to write down our answer. Getting my point? So any question until this? Any question? Any topic? Any query? Nothing? Okay, no problem. So folks, in this manner, okay, we have to just devise and keep our strategy always intact. And for that matter, again, you have to write it down, then only you can recognize where the flaws are there. Melody khao, khud jaan jao, hai na? So melody. So particularly, again, to ace this subject, to conquer this subject, to get command over this subject, answer writing is very important, one thing. Second, getting feedback is also crucial. And third is, after getting feedback, we have to improve it. And for that matter, we have brought you here particularly this particular test series for this upcoming 2026, where we have divided all the syllabus into the 10 number of tests. We are going to conduct 3 tests on the paper first. The first test will be on 11th of June. For the separately that will be conducted for the sociological thinkers. Then on 18th June, means every Thursday we have this test, okay. Then after finishing paper first, we will conduct a comprehensive test on a complete paper 1. Then we will again move ahead with the paper second. 3 sectional tests will be there. Then there will be at the end of the paper second, there will be a comprehensive test on a complete paper 2. And on 6th of August, there will be a comprehensive test on complete paper 1, and then another last comprehensive test for the paper second will be on the 13th of August, and still you will get around 8 to 9 days for the writing of your mains. So that is enough space for you. So you can just follow this program and you can devise your plan, and in this way you can add value, you can get enough time to complete your particular sociology optional. Here in this program, what we are going to do, the question papers I have framed at myself, and on the basis of my more than 15 years of experience in this UPSC, MPSC and particularly the sociology, I have particularly carefully chosen all those topics and questions and themes which have been remain consistently important, which remain always have a high potential to get asked in the exam, and that's why those topics will give you ultimately those high probability topics also. Second, we are going to discuss whatever the feedback is there will be there in a one-on-one manner, because this is a personal mentoring program again. So there will be a personal mentoring and one-on-one discussion will be there. Third, we are going to provide model hints, because again hints are important, because model answer just make you the paralysis, okay, that make you paralyzed, because our main motto is to make you empowered, so that you can fulfill the demand of any type of question, okay. That's why we focus more upon the model hints, that is the next one. And at the same time, yes, value addition material will be there, diagrams and particularly examples and particularly some current affairs related material will be also there. So all these things are there, and definitely our students from consistently from the last couple of years, they have succeeded with the optional sociology optional. Then it may be a Tushar, or it may be a Onkar, or it may be a Suraj, or even last year Aditi. So all these students have already aced, okay, have secured good number of marks in the sociology, and they are now serving to the nation. So folks, definitely if you have any query, if you get any problem, then just you can call on the below numbers in the chat box, okay. There are numbers and you can call them, you can just contact the office numbers, you can just visit the office, and you can just we can have a just little chit chat, and then we can move ahead, okay. But remember, on the coming Thursday we are going to conduct our first test on the sociological thinkers, getting, as this is the UPSC, folks, don't underestimate the UPSC, okay, and it has consistently shown you in the prelims, in the mains and in the interview also. So folks, I hope I have addressed most of the points here. If you still have any problem, you can connect me, but last but not least, that yes, we are always with you, not for the sociology but also for the other aspects, and then we will move ahead, okay. So all the best for your journey, all the best for your exam, and all the best for your preparation. Thank you.